Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Darek Vosh here from Caliathletics. Learning advanced calisthenics movements like a handstand push-up, front lever, or even a planche is a difficult task, but it's possible. If you want to get the most out of your calisthenics trainings, then you must know calisthenics fundamentals. So guys, make sure to watch this video till the end because it's a video about this. A lot of beginners are getting crazy about not important training factors, and they even search for lack of results in this, while still not mastering and not focusing enough on the calisthenics fundamentals. So here, based on some questions that I got, are just a few examples of these distractors. So the first one, which is the best exercise for inner chest? Or should I do 4 sets of 8 repetitions, 10 repetitions, or 12 repetitions? Which is the best? Should I train in the morning or afternoon or at evening? And obviously, should I buy a protein powder at the beginning of my journey? If you're into a business, you may have heard about Pareto rule, which basically says that 80% of your results comes from only 20% of the action that you take. So let's find out if we can apply that also in calisthenics trainings. So the first fundamental, which is very important, is to write down your training program and be consistent about executing that. A very common mistake that beginners do is that they rather search for some example exercises or routines that they switch every single week. By this approach, it's so hard to track your progress and to analyze your results and to eventually get your progressive overload, which is a very important factor as well. So if you don't have a training program, I highly recommend you to check out my Elite Body Transformation program, which consists of 20 levels of bodyweight routines and the progressive overload system, which will let you progress in a nice way. Otherwise, you can also try to create your own training program based on the tips that I'm going to share with you in this video. So now a few tips for you in order to create a good workout program. So first of all, the good workout program should be matched to your goals, to your strength level, and also to your time. So if you can realistically train 3 times a week for 1 hour, it's completely fine. Just don't make a mistake of creating a workout routine for 5 workout days, because you'll be not able to execute that in long term. This is a mistake that many people do if they are not able to judge in a good way on their possibilities. So the second thing is that the workout routine should consist of the list of exercises, sets, reps, but not only that, also the rest time in between, possibly the tempo of each exercise, and also the rear scale, so how many reps in reserve should you have, and obviously the progressive overload method that is going to be applied in this workout routine. The exercises that are your priority should be included at the beginning of your training session. In that case, I would also recommend to rather avoid circuits and perform all sets of this hard exercise at the beginning before moving to the next one, because otherwise, if you mix the exercises, you're going to lose a lot of strength when you come back to this first, the hardest exercise. The other thing is that if the program has the high volume, I would definitely recommend to include deload weeks. This is the period of time that you let your central nervous system and your muscle system to recover, and this deload should be included every 4, 6, or 8 weeks, depending on the fatigue that you feel after the training. And the last tip that I would find useful as a beginner is to write down the program in the way that you can easily track the progress and see results from the previous workout, so that you can compare and get progressive overload. In that case, I can share my own tool that I'm using for working with my trainees. You can find the link in the description. I prepared the Excel sheet, which is super comfortable to perform your trainings and write down your programs. The second fundamental of bodyweight training is to obviously never skip the warm-up and master the proper form of the exercises. It very often happens that we try to reach more and more repetitions, switch to too difficult progression in the skills training, and because of that we have a stagnation, or what's even worse, we can get injured. So make sure to execute the proper form always, and in order to do that I would highly recommend you to check out my program, where you can see basically all calisthenics exercises with tips on how to improve. And then what you can do is go on the workout and simply record yourself, then compare to my videos and be able to judge if the technique is good or you need to work a little bit more on that. Otherwise, you can also try working with a coach that can guide you on how to perform the proper form of the exercises. It's quite hard to give you a clear explanation on the proper form for each exercise in this video. However, I can give you some tips that you can apply in the most of the exercises. So for the push exercises, we usually want to focus on keeping our elbows in. In this position, we externally rotate our shoulders and put them into a good, safe and comfortable position. We're going to apply that in the push-ups, in the pike push-ups, in handstand push-ups, for example. The second tip is that for the most of the exercises, we want to keep our spine in a neutral position. So this means that we want to learn how to control our core, how to control our pelvis. So we can whether use the posterior pelvic tilt or the neutral position and try to avoid the anterior pelvic tilt. The third tip is to avoid keeping and use the strength of the muscles that should be engaged. And the fourth tip is to obviously work in the full range of motion. Another fundamental is the choice of the exercises. First of all, when creating your workout routine, you should choose the exercises that are matched to your strength level. So if you can perform 50 incline push-ups, it clearly makes no sense to still progress in this. You should move to the normal push-ups or harder variation of that. If, however, you cannot perform the handstand push-up, don't waste your time on the attempts that are not going to give you anything, because you are not even able to control the eccentric part of the movement. Instead, replace them by pike push-ups or even the wall-assisted handstand push-ups in order to strengthen yourself, and then progress to the free handstand push-up. Another thing to consider is to choose exercises that have a good progression system. So for example, if you're intermediate or advanced calisthenics athlete, it may happen that if you include the bent knee rise, it may happen that the first muscle that gets fatigued are your forearms instead of your core muscles. So instead of that, you should simply choose the different exercise that have a better progression system. Also, if your goal is to achieve a planche, you shouldn't focus on doing basics only. Even if you can perform like 30 push-ups and then progressing to 50 push-ups in one set or even 100, it's not going to give you a planche. If you want to achieve planche, you should start including progressions and simply choose the exercises in a smart way. You want to work in the similar range of motion and similar positions if you want to get this. Same for the front lever. It's not going to give you anything if you progress with your endurance. You want to progress in the strength, choosing the right progressions for this exercise. Another rule of bodyweight training is simply the rest time in between sets. It often happens that we have too short rest time in between, and it's going to really affect your strength performance. So you can simply make a test. On day one, perform 4 sets of pull-ups and have 60 seconds of rest in between, and on the other day perform 4 sets of pull-ups having 3 minutes of rest. You can compare results that you have, and you will see that the volume in the second workout day is way higher. So because of that, you're going to probably get more adaptations, and also for the exercises where you focus on the strength, you're going to simply have better results. So the rule is that if you have a really difficult exercise or the skills progression, you can and you should include 3 up to even 5 minutes of rest, or even more if needed. I know that it may seem a bit boring, but it works. And the last fundamental that I decided to prepare in this video is the topic of progressive overload. In simple terms, it means that you want to engage your muscles into the work more and more over time in order to be able to see the progress in terms of hypertrophy and strength performance. If you don't have progressive overload, you cannot expect to have a good results in these areas. So since it's very important and very interesting topic, I'm planning to make a video about that. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see it. If so, I can make a longer video about this topic, explaining it on how to apply, which are the methods, and how to simply track it, because it's also something that we think we do, but it's not really working in the way that it should. So guys, these were the calisthenics fundamentals that I found very important for beginners, and not only, but I'm also wondering which are also the fundamentals in your opinion. Let me know in the comment section. I'm really looking forward to see a discussion. Despite that, also for people that look for calisthenics programs, if you want to improve your self-confidence, if you want to transform your body, and if you want to learn calisthenics skills, having the program that is guiding you step by step on how to achieve all of these goals, then check out Elite Body Transformation program on my website. And also, if you're looking for calisthenics equipment, make sure to check out my Caliathletics shop. We ship worldwide with the highest quality equipment. So guys, that was it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.